Bloodstrike, the game that used to be a big hit, is now barely holding on. Developed by NetEase Games, it's sadly heading toward its final days. Just like every other project from NetEase Games, Project Bloodstrike is also going to be a flop. But how did this game, which had so much potential, end up like this? Let's go back to where it all began and see how things went from bad to worse. When Bloodstrike first launched, it seemed like it might break the usual NetEase curse. I mean, they've got a PAAHDAAEDDDHEHE in making games and leaving them with hackers and no updates like every other NetEase Games. Project Bloodstrike is also inspired by Warzone and Apex Legends. The game quickly gained a strong player base, becoming popular among gamers. It all started when Bloodstrike had a competition with Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Both games were about to launch, but Activision got nervous. They knew that if they released too late, gamers might start playing Bloodstrike, especially since Warzone Mobile had already been delayed. So Activision did what they thought was best. They dropped Warzone Mobile just one day before Bloodstrike's release on March 20th, 2024. But this Rust launch turned into a nightmare for gamers. The game was filled with bugs, glitches, lag, pixelated graphics, and so many other issues that players started leaving the game. This gave Bloodstrike a golden opportunity. On March 21st, 2024, Bloodstrike launched and quickly gained a massive player base. But just when everyone thought Bloodstrike was going to be a lasting success, something unexpected happened. Triple K. It all started when the developers, hungry for more profits, made a decision that would haunt the game. They turned it into a pay-to-win nightmare. Suddenly, there were weapons and gear in the game with some advantages. You could only get them if you paid real money. Sights that give you a clear edge. Special effects that make your character stand out. Everything came with a price tag. If you had the cash, you had the power. But that isn't the only problem. The developers also began cramming unnecessary stuff into the game, completely ignoring the performance issues that came with it. Remember how smoothly the game ran when it was first launched globally? Compare that to now, and you'll see a massive decline in performance, lag spikes, and stuttering. These became a common experience for players, and it gets worse. The developers seem to have lost all interest in maintaining the game. Cheaters have started flooding the servers using hacks like Midwing to gain unfair advantages. Imagine facing opponents who can see through walls or get headshots every time. Frustrating, right? And what is the anti-chase system doing? Absolutely nothing. These cheaters are roaming free, ruining the game for everyone else. This is leading to a decline in the player base. With every update that ignored these issues, more and more players left feeling abandoned and betrayed by the developers. Here's the truth. All this stuff you just heard is what I keep hearing from people. Every time I drop a new video, I get flooded with comments from people saying the game has become boring. They're talking about how it's turned into a pay-to-win mess and how hackers are ruining everything. I've heard it all. So I made this video to break it all down and set the record straight for you guys. Hackers. People keep saying they are hackers in the EUMENA server, claiming they use something called M to cheat. But honestly, I haven't seen any hackers myself. When I asked for proof, the accusers just vanished. I even checked with a friend who plays on that server, and he hasn't spotted any hackers either. It seems like some of these people might just be sore losers who blame hackers when they get outplayed by a pro. Or they might just be haters who dislike the game. Plus, if there were any hackers, they're probably banned by now since the developers are on top of this. So no worries, you're not going to get wrecked by a hacker. Pay to win. I've explained this in pretty much every video, but people still flood the comments saying the game is pay to win. They point to special sites you can get only by spending money, but those sites are just for show and don't actually give you any advantage. If you think that's enough to call a game pay to win, then pretty much every game out there is pay to win too. Take Call of Duty Mobile and Valorant for example. They've got skins you can only get by paying, and they've got cool sites too. But Bloodstrike sometimes gives out free gold in events. Like right now, you can get 500 free gold, and up to 999 gold for free, when it was globally launched before update. So if you still think Bloodstrike is pay to win, I'm not sure what more to say. Lag and low player base. Yeah, there are some lag and optimization issues. When the game launched globally, it was different from what it is now, but honestly, that's pretty common for games. Every time they update, they get a bit heavier with new stuff that your device has to handle. For high-end devices, it's usually not a big deal, but for low-end devices, it can be a nightmare. I get it. It's frustrating. Your options are to either upgrade your device or be like those hardcore gamers who play with 599 ping and still land headshots. Just imagine how unstoppable they'd be with 19 ping. People talk about a low player base, but honestly, this game has a pretty solid number of players. It's not hard to find matches at all, and making friends in the game is super easy too. That's more than enough players to keep the game alive and kicking. And instead of declining, the player base is actually growing. There's no need to worry about the game dying out anytime soon. Bloodstrike isn't dying. In fact, it's far from it. Sure, there are issues, but show me a game that doesn't have its problems. The thing is, the developers behind Bloodstrike are actually pretty good at what they do. They're listening to the community, rolling out updates, and making sure the game stays fun and engaging. Neats might have a rocky track record, but they found a big success with Bloodstrike. This is just the beginning. The game is growing, the devs are working hard, and the community is still strong. Bloodstrike isn't going anywhere. The game has evolved, adapted, and proven that it's more than just a clone of other popular shooters. The strikers, the intense combat, the different game modes, everything about Bloodstrike screams potential. And it's not just me saying this. The community is still very much alive and kicking, with new players joining every day. So there you have it, guys. Bloodstrike is alive and well. Despite what the rumors might say, don't let the negativity fool you. This game is still one of the best out there, and it's only going to get better. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more content, and leave a comment below. Let's keep the Bloodstrike hype alive. See you in the game, and until next time, keep on grinding in Bloodstrike. With